I'm gonna be completely honest, I was not the sharpest tool in this shed as a kid. Like, you might catch me tying my socks because I don't want them to fall off, or climbing the wall because I got a spider bite. But the thing about being a dumb kid is that when you're stupid, you have a lot of near-death experiences. Like, one time I remember I just watched the show American Ninja Warriors, which all my real ones know what that is, and I thought, man, bro, that stuff looks so easy. And no hesitation, I went to my kitchen and I was climbing on the counter, standing on the stove. But I guess I got a little bit too cocked because I was like, okay, I'm gonna jump on the door of the stove, and when it opens, I'm gonna jump off and I'm gonna look like Spider-Man or something. Yeah, now thinking about it, I shouldn't have been on American Ninja Warriors, but America's Special Needs Association. But anyway, when the oven started to fall, I grabbed the microwave like my life depended on it, which it did. And next thing I remember, I'm falling with the microwave about to crash my head. Luckily, I walked out of the situation with more brain function than Stephen Hawking, but I still have a scar from this day because the oven sliced my skin like it was ham from the grocery. To be fair, you can't even feel bad for me for that one, but this one isn't even my fault. I was just minding my business in a trampoline park, just bouncing around, having fun like kids do, and then I tripped. If you know one thing about trampolines, it's that when you fall, it takes the strength of my toilet when I eat Taco Bell and Chipotle on the same day to stand up again. But I looked up, I see this fat dude, like my 600-pound live first place winner, come from the trampoline above and literally a second away from falling on my face. Now luckily this ended up in a near-death experience video and not a how I got killed by an elephant death video, but unluckily, let's just say I was moving like a disabled cow for a week. Okay, those are early near-death experiences in my life, like the mini ones when you're a kid, but I swear when I first got a bike, my death chance increased by 99%. I don't even know how I'm here right now telling you stories because I should be in a hospital eating Jello right now. But when I first got a bike, I would go to this parking lot with my dad and my sister and we'd just bike around. It was fun and nothing risky really happened unless you count riding over a speed bump at 1 mile per hour. But one day we went out and we saw a hill, and I don't know what was going through our minds because it was a pretty steep hill, but we were like, what's the worst thing that could happen besides me literally getting pancaked? At first, me and my sister were going up and down the hill like nothing, but I got the Albert Einstein level idea to try going down the hill without using my brakes at all. So I'm going up the hill, not thinking much about it, getting to the top, look at my sister, and I'm telling her, watch this, it's gonna be super cool. When I tell you, I started levitating off that bike when I was going full speed, that's no joke. I was doing the Superman. I looked edited. I was holding those handlebars for dear life. It would have been fine if there wasn't literally a road in front of me, cars going faster than Lightning McQueen. I didn't know how, but 3 seconds away from death, I managed to pull myself back in the bike like I was cycling on more steroids than the Liver King, and I swerved into the grass. I couldn't even do that again if I was trying to end it all. But that's not even the first time that I've nearly died on a bike. One time, I was biking home from just playing basketball with my friends, but it was mad cold outside. Like I was warming myself up by running sticks together. It was that cold. I was like a caveman. But since it was so cold and I didn't have gloves, my hands were up my sleeves, so I really couldn't control the bike and I couldn't hold the brakes at all. Now saying it out loud, you're probably saying I'm dumber than Clever the Big Red Dog when he lets his demons out, but if you were in my position, colder than Patrick Bateman TikTok quotes, you'd understand what I was coming from. But anyway, I was biking on the street and I was trying to turn into the sidewalk, but I missed the entrance and hit the curb. I didn't fall over, but I can't control the bike because it's wobbling like crazy. And then this huge flower pot comes out of nowhere and I hit it dead on. When I hit that flower pot, my life went into slow-mo because I could see me flipping in the bike like I was in third person. Like I felt like the main character of a movie flipping in a different universe where Kanye West is Jewish and everyone is taking men 24/7. But I was flipping in the air about to die for the 4th time, but luckily I landed 0.001 millimeters away from the curb, and again I walked away with more brain function than Stephen Hawking. The thing about being a dumb kid is that you make stupid friends, and this is yet another story about a bike. Luckily it's not me almost ending it all, but they still gotta add an age requirement on those death machines. But anyway, one of my friends I'm gonna call Arby's because he's giving me all the meat, but he was biking down a hill so he was bound to die, and it was raining like crazy, so one wrong move and you're on the floor folded like a pretzel. But this dunce, actual smooth brain individual, waste of evolution, decided to try to pick up a phone call while he was biking in the rain and could see 6 inches in front of him. Luckily nothing bad happened to him. Nah, I'm playing with you. He fell off the bike like he was on TV of a cartoon, like he was actually trying to audition for a spot on Looney Tunes. It even made the sound effects and everything. I swear he landed on the ground while sitting down like he was still riding the bike. He was on the phone too, so 1 second it was all normal and another second it sounded like he was rolling off Mount Everest. That story was crazy, but it isn't even the craziest that Arby's nearly died on a bike. Look, as I said before, these bikes are death machines. Like, look at this bike and say it's not gonna kill you. But anyway, back to the story. He was riding a bike down a hill, so you could probably see where this is gonna go, but he was biking right and he saw these bushes. Now most people would just go, oh cool, there's some bushes, not think much of it, but I guess the intrusive thought got to him, and the next thing I know, he's biking through those bushes at 200% like he's ready to bust it down, and hits those things and gets flattened like Flat Stanley. For the next 2 weeks, I swear he was 2D. When he turned to the side, he disappeared. Had to grab on whatever he could see when a gust of wind came. It was the craziest thing you've ever seen in his life. And to be fair, he thought he was just gonna go straight through, but I can tell you for a fact that's not what happened. Lastly, I have one that's just not even my fault. Most people, when you see movies, people jumping through glass and saying, saying, oh, it's fine. I'm telling you, it's not like that. I was that extreme. I didn't jump off a 20-story building. I didn't really jump through glass at all. But what happened was, in our house, we had a glass door. And so the thing about the glass door is that if you hit it at like a point, it will shatter like it's my emotions when she says, not today, I have a headache. But anyway, as I was saying, if I push it, it will completely break. And so the door comes at me swinging. And the first thing you do when something's coming at you is you put your hands out. And because my sister decides to swing the door at 300 newtons, I put my arms out and then it literally just cuts my hand. I can literally see Kool-Aid juice dripping from my hands. And I'm thinking, oh no, I'm literally about to die. And I have to go to the hospital. And the worst part isn't even it hurts. The worst part is I have to sit in a hospital for 2 hours listening to some. It was so stupid. I actually hate hospital music. It sounds terrible, and I don't like hospitals because they make you sit for 5 hours. But that's the end of this video, and only thing I want you to do is stay safe and subscribe.